Good morning, warriors. After a lot of gap, again we have come with the 10 MCQ question for the first lesson, the use of the coordinates. Gentlemen, you should remember the 10 MCQ question is a 10 variety of the question. If you are able to do it 10 MCQ, then you need not to memorize or prepare for the any of the exam. The first we start. The coordinates of a point is in the form of minus and minus. Means there are the two coordinates are there, that is a x and the y is in the minus. Remember, the x coordinates are said to be abscissa and the y coordinate we call it the ordinate. Correct? So here it's a minus and minus. We are well aware that the first coordinate is a positive, second is a x positive, x negative and the y positive. Third is only one where the x and the y coordinates will be minus. Correct? So the third is a correct answer. Okay. The next we'll see. If the x is equal to y, if x is equal to y, then the xy coordinate xy will be equal to the yx. What can be the condition? When you say the x is equal to y, gentlemen, if x is not equal to y, then what will happen? Remember the condition 1. When the x is equal to y, the xy coordinate is equal to the ys. Correct? Because both are equal. But if x is not equal to y, the what can be the condition? This will happen when the xy is not equal to the x or y and x. The answer number, the D is a correct. There were the 4 MCQ. The choices given: x is equal to y is equal to x. The third is a xy is equal to yx, and the xy is not equal to the yx. If the x and y both are equal, then certainly both coordinates will be also equal. When they say it is not equal, then certainly the xy is not equal to yx. The third is a distance between the points xy, the x1 and the x2y. So what will happen? There are two coordinates are there, x1y and the x2y is the absolute values, absolute values of the x2 minus x1. You remember when we talk about the absolute values, means we are not bothered for the sign, whether it is a plus or minus, of the differences between correct. So the what will be the answer? The here will be the answer. The distance between the points will be the distance between the x1 and the x2. The x1 and x2 will be the answer. Correct. The first is the answer, x1 and the x2. The fourth is the distance. The distance between the point P. The P coordinates are given 2 and 3. From the x-axis is the minus the answer. What will be the distance of the P from the x-axis? From the x-axis, what will be the distance? Gentlemen, we know it the distance formula, so we can find out from the x-axis is the distance between the point P to 3. From the y-axis, x-axis is A is a 2, the B is a 3, C is a 1 and D is equal to the 4. So the distance between the point P from the x-axis is 3. Correct? So you are getting the answer number the 3. The distance formula you know it, and when we talk about the x-axis, we know that y is equal to the 0. The distance you can find out, it becomes the 3. The AOB, the fifth question, the AOBC is a rectangle. If the AOBC is a rectangle whose the 3 vertices are A is 0, 3, the O is 0, 0, correct, and the B is 5, 0. find the length of the diagonals. Find the length of the diagonals. When you try to find out the diagonals with the distance formula, you are going to get the root 3 4, that is root 34. So root 34 become the distance between the corner, between the diagonals, correct? The diagonal, the vertices. So the diagonal, the distance will be root 34. The next is the point. The point is given minus 4 0, the 4 0 and the 0 3 are the vertices. These three vertices you can see the where it can be. Remember the minus 4 0 is there. So 0 indicates that the one of the vertices is at the origin. So the answers will be the isosceles triangles. So what is the isosceles triangle? The isosceles, the triangle will be, that is a isosceles triangle, where we find that the both are equal, correct? So that becomes the isosceles triangle. The answer is the isosceles triangle. We will see the seventh. The point which lies on the perpendicular bisector of the line segment. The point which lies on the perpendicular bisector of the line segment joining the point A, this one, correct? There are 2 points are there. That is the point is given, the 2, we can find the point is given. Okay, the point is a 2 and minus 5, other is a 2 and 5. With the distance, when you try to find out the point which lies on the perpendicular bisector of the line sector joining the 2 point, the 2 minus 5 and the 2 5 will be the 0 0. The answer is the 0, correct? We got it, the answer 0 0. If the points are given, that is k, 2k, 3k and the 3k, 3 and the 1 are the collinear. The collinear means, you understand, when the any all the points are falling on a straight line, we say they all are the collinear points. So here we see that there are 3 points, they are collinear. Then the k is equal to, when you find out, you find that the k will be equal to the minus 1 by 3, correct? When you try to find out the values of that k, it will be the minus 1 by 3. The next is if the distance between the point A and the B, the point A is a 4p, 4 and the p, and the B is a 1 and the 0, 1 and the 0 is a 5. The distance they have given, it is a 5. Then with the distance formula, when you try to find out by putting the value of the 5, then you will get that the p will be equal to the plus minus the 4. Understood? The answer will be the C, that is the p plus minus the 4. The 10, the mean point, that is the last MCQ. The midpoint of the segment AB is given. The P is the point is 0 4. If the coordinates of the B are minus 2, minus 3, minus 2 and minus 3, then the coordinates of the A are what will be the coordinates of the midpoint segment? The coordinates are given this one. If the coordinates of the B are minus 2 and minus 3, then the coordinates of the A are 2 5. Okay, so you get, gentlemen, you get prepared of the 10 MCQ in the next. This is the part 2 video. In the part 3 video, I will come with the few subjective questions. You do it. If you do the 10 variety of the MCQ, I don't think that any other question they may ask you, because I have tried to cover the complete syllabus with this 10 MCQ. Correct? They may check the figures, they may ask the questions, different questions. The value will be different, but certainly they are not going to ask much more than the what is given in the 10 MCQ. Thank you, gentlemen. Wait for the part 3 shortly. It will be coming. Please subscribe, share, and pass the comment. Thank you. Jai Hind.